So, as I was saying, the responsible adult sex worker is much less likely to contract a disease than the general population. And the reason for this is because when they are performing their services, they take this very seriously and they're very careful. They use condoms. They make sure the customer isn't going to do anything that could harm their health, such as fondling them with their, filthy hands. They make sure the customer is clean. They don't let the customer do anything that they're not comfortable doing or that they feel that could hurt their health. The responsible sex worker, like I said, is much more cleaner than the general population, and this has been proven time and time again with the repetitiveness of the health checks that the legal brothels do. And there's a saying that I have, and it goes like, I don't know whose saying this is, but one of my favorite sayings is, when you keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again, and you keep expecting a different result, it's a sign of insanity. And that's the way I look at these brothels, because they're always continuously having these poor girls, women checked constantly, and it's abusive because once they're in the brothel, once they go there, they get their checks, they get their blood drawn and all this stuff, and they pass. And once they're there, it's like if they want to leave, let's say they're there for just a few days and then they want to go to the store or go have lunch, they can't because, well, I mean they could, if they don't mind getting their blood taken again, which is kind of abusive because it's like you're saying, well, yeah, you can leave, but even though you just had your blood drawn, you're going to have to do it again if you leave. To me, that's abuse. And I know they're just trying to comply, the brothels are just trying to comply with the county regulations, and I know that the reason they do this is because they want to be able to protect themselves and say, well, we've never, had a case of AIDS or disease, and we know because these girls get checked every single time. Which it's kind of, again, it's insanity though, because over the past 20 years since they've been using condoms, they've never had a case. They never had, these girls don't have diseases and they don't have AIDS. And so to me, it's insanity and it's abuse to keep testing. They should come to a point where they say, well, look, our record here is clean for 20 years. Let's lighten up a bit. Let's just make the test maybe once every 6 months or something, And actually, that's what most doctors say, that you don't need to keep getting AIDS tests all the time, every single month. It's ridiculous. That's too much blood. You're continuing, and think of all the money that these doctors are making. It's just insanity, And another thing, why I don't agree with the brothels is because, I think that a responsible adult should be able to work independently and offer services on their own. Just as, people who do porn, they're allowed to go home. They don't have to, live in a confined, controlled area where people are watching their every move, listening to their negotiations. Of course, in the porn industry, you already know up front how much you're going to get. And it's not like you're giving half your money away to someone that you make. It's like in the brothels, they pretty much listen to everything you say in your room, so they know how much money you're negotiating for. And then they take half, so I think that's wrong. Can you imagine working for any business and having the boss listen to your negotiations and taking half your money? Nobody would put up with that. Can you imagine working at your job and you have to live there, and if you want to leave, you have to have your blood taken every single time, every day even? What if you wanted to leave every day? You wanted to go home every day. It means every time you go back, you have to have your blood drawn again, and you have to pay for it. And, what if somebody takes the free limo ride? You really think it's free? No, the girl pays for it. So actually, they're giving up more than half their money. They're giving up to 60 to 70% of their money to the brothel owners. It's like, It's perfectly legal to have sex with somebody for money as long as there's a camera there, but take the camera away and all of a sudden it's illegal, you know. Or it's perfectly legal to go have sex if you're locked down in the middle of a desert where there's nuclear test sites, you know, but try to do it independently and keep all your money, and it's illegal. It's abuse is what it is. It's fucking abuse, because the thing is, the truth of the matter is, you need money to live, okay? You can't get free rent. You can't get free food. Well, at least responsible people don't. Maybe some people do, but if somebody wants to be responsible, you know, make money, to have something, to make something of their lives, to save money, maybe, you know, they have dreams or something, you know, and just to say that you can't do that or you're going to get arrested, that's just like saying you can't have food. You know, why not make food illegal? I mean, you got to pay for food. You got to have money to pay for food. So, you know, that's just reality. That's the reality of it. You have to have money in this world. You don't have to like it, but that's the reality of it. So, you know, it makes no sense to me why it's illegal, or why it's only legal in certain brothels or whatever, in certain areas out in the middle of the desert where they have nuclear test sites. You know, it's like, it's not even in the city. You got to drive like an hour outside the city of Vegas. It's insanity. You know, and then the girl has to pay for it if it's the limo. You know, and another thing, a lot of people think that, you know, that when people have sex or sexual relations, that it should be only in relationship situations. But that's only a fantasy world. That's not in the real reality of the things. If your mind, you know, is that boxed in where you can't think outside the box, where you can't see that there's every single type of people out there, you know, there's so many different types of people in this world, you know, that have different needs, that maybe they don't want a relationship, but yet they do want to have sex, but yet maybe they don't want to have a commitment, but yet they do want to have sex, but yet they don't want to feel like they're using someone for sex, so they feel like, okay, well, if they're compensated, you know, which is money, if the person is compensated, then that everything's agreeable, that two adults agree to have sex for compensation, then that should be legal. What makes the government think that they can harass people for that just because they're in a minority group? It's complete abuse of power, and it needs to stop. I don't know what else more I can say at this point. You know, a lot of people, maybe they have no compassion for people that sell sexual services. They could care less, but these people that you care less about, you're paying for their arrests. You're paying for their investigations. You're paying for their lap dances. It's coming out of your tax money. So, you know, when you're hungry and you're wishing that you had extra money to buy food, think about all the tax money that the government has stolen from you to harass women for doing nothing more than selling a service, be it dancing, nude massage, it doesn't matter. It's all considered illegal. Police abuse and arrest women, people, men every day. They spend something like well over $8 million per year per county. Add it up, figure it out. Think about what they're doing. $8 million per year per city. You know how much money that is? It's unbelievable. It's insanity. I don't know what else to say. If you're smart, you'll figure it out. And help decriminalize prostitution. And help people instead of hurt them. And help yourself in the process.